Hello, this is Susan Quinn at the University of South Carolina. This video will show you the test availability options in Blackboard and how to create exceptions to these rules. We will deploy a test, discuss the availability options, and then see how you can make exceptions for one or more students in your course. For this demonstration, I'm going to assume that you have already created a test in your Blackboard site. Let's look at a demonstration site that I use to practice features in Blackboard. I will go to Tests and Exams, which is the area where I want the link to go. Create Assessments, choose Test, notice that you could create a new test from here, but I'm going to choose one of the tests that have not yet been deployed in this site, the midterm exam. Click Submit. In Part 1, Test Information, you can add a content link description, which the students will see beneath the link to the test, but in this case, midterm exam probably does not need a description. You can also open the test in a new window. In Part 2, Test Availability, you can make the link available here. We'll say yes. You can also add a new announcement for this test. For the Attempts option, the default is to allow only one attempt. You know that because multiple attempts is unchecked. If we check multiple attempts, you'll see where you can either allow unlimited attempts or set the number of attempts. We're going to allow only one attempt for this demonstration. For forced completion, let's check forced completion. This means that the students cannot save the test and come back later to finish it. Let's also set the timer. We'll set the timer for 45 minutes. Let's turn on Auto Submit. This means that the student will get a 1-minute warning that the time is almost up, and when the time is up, the student must stop. The test will automatically be submitted with whatever questions the student has completed to that point. The alternative is to turn Auto Submit off, which will give the student the 1-minute warning, but he or she will be able to continue answering questions after the time limit. When you see the grade attempt in the Grade Center, it will show how many minutes after the time limit the student continued to work. It is your choice how to, or if, to penalize the students for going over the time, but please be sure you make it clear to the students what the penalty will be prior to the test. For this demo, we're not going to change the display dates, but we could do that here. So the test availability settings we have are to allow only a single attempt, to force the students to complete the test in one sitting, and after 45 minutes the test will automatically save and submit. Let's look at Part 3, Test Availability Options. First, let me point out that no one will see the exception settings except you. Click Add User or Group. What you will see is a list of all the students and any groups you have created for this course. Click on the name or names of the students who need an exception. I'm going to choose Cheryl and David. Scroll down and click Submit. Here are Cheryl and David. Notice that the settings defaults to the ones that you set for the entire class. 45-minute timing, auto submit, forced completion. If you have not set a timer or checked forced completion for the class as a whole, those options will be grayed out. Okay, Cheryl needs additional time to complete the test, but no other accommodations. So we'll allow 90 minutes, double the time of the others, and we'll leave the other options the same as the rest of the class. David needs to be able to take the test with basically no restrictions. Let's allow unlimited attempts, although you could choose a specific number of multiple attempts. We also want to turn off forced completion, so David can stop in the middle of an attempt and then come back later to finish it. We do not want a timer for David, so we will uncheck that. Notice that we could have extended the time like we did for Cheryl, or we could change the auto submit option. Also notice that you could change the dates for the availability of the test for an individual student. Let's say we had the test set to become available at midnight on a Sunday night and close at midnight Monday night for most of the students. You could change that to allow an individual student an extra day or part of a day before or after that 24-hour period. Or you could choose a totally different 24-hour period, the previous Tuesday at midnight to Wednesday at midnight, for example, for a student who needed to take the test earlier than the rest of the class. Before we leave this page, the exceptions you make for a student are based on the specific needs of the student. In the case of a student with a disability, please work with the Student Disabilities Office to determine the appropriate accommodations. Scroll down and click Submit. Finally, notice that you can go back in and edit test options to add exceptions or change them at any time prior to the student starting to take the test. Thank you.